Good afternoon. We have a special guest speaker for you today. Please give a warm welcome to the hosts of My Gym Partners, a podcast. Attendance is mandatory.
Bullshark, porcupine, I don't know what. Doing this podcast is a pain in the...
What's this?
Huh?
What do you...
That's me attempting to snap.
But
I can't do it really good.
It sounds like you're, like, slapping the mic.
I'm not. I'm trying to snap, but I can't.
It sounds like you're, like, shaking some tiny maracas. Oh, wait,
Like
no,
it-
there we go.
Ha-cha-cha!
It sounds like you're, like, just, like, I don't know, like going, yeah, 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 yeah. You're like you're hitting something, just like, yeah,
alright,
yeah.
Well, good to be back, isn't it, everybody? Here in the Monkey Show.
Ah.
Back we are.
This format, this 2-week format, sure is letting me get some rest and relax, because that's how school is.
If you want my advice, hey kids who are, about to graduate high school or whatever, here's my advice. Don't do it. Don't go to college.
Don't go to college. College is a bad place to go.
Take a break year.
Take a break year.
Please, God, do take a break year.
Take
for
a
real.
break year, Jesus.
If they offer community college, please
that.
do it. Do it.
Learn a trade. Go to a technical school. Just take some, like, individual classes for stuff you're, like, actually wanting to learn.
Just be a fucking plumber or something.
They make so much money. Do you
And
know how
kill
much
aliens! You know Ben 10? They're called plumbers. Hey, everybody.
Well, that's not
I
the
like
show we're talking about
cartoons.
here. Anyway, we're My Gym Partners, a podcast.
Wait,
I
before
don't
we
know-
get on to it, there's just one more thing about Ben 10 that I wanted to talk about, Renee, and I just wanted to see if you remember. But do you remember in the episode with Ben 10,000 when he finally, like, learns to be himself and, like, not a stuck-up asshole, and he's, like, riding around on a skateboard, he just keeps going, woo! 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 And he keeps doing that over and over again.
Anyway, we're not a Ben 10 podcast as much as, like, you're piquing my interest with a Ben 10 topic. We're My Gym Partners, a podcast, and we talk about episodes of My Gym Partners, a monkey, maybe go a little too critical in them, or just, like, whatever with them. We like to have fun here, we're not like big, like, movie critics or nothing. We're not like...
We're not Hollywood.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're
We're not Hollywood.
We're not Hollywood. We
We're
give
just
the-
here to, like, overanalyze, to put ourselves into these characters, these fucked up, horrible characters,
We're the
in these
people's-
terrible situations.
We're the
And
people's voice of the monkey show.
we're Kids' Choice Awards over here. Come on.
So we are. We're Kids' Choice Awards. So we watched 2 very interesting episodes that were pretty slip-centric, I gotta say. I'm very happy.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so happy today.
I
I
guess-
woke up, I was like, oh, that's right. Slips.
There's one thing that worries me about these 2 episodes being so close together. Though it is a treat right now, I wonder, did they just want to get them out of the way and, like, group them together? Did they just want to, like, be like, alright, we gotta do the slips ones now, but let's just put them together. Fuck that guy. Like,
Well,
I hope...
no. I don't know.
I'm starting to wonder something, actually. Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we've talked about the last few episodes, or like a few episodes ago, like a pair of them feeling very Windsor-centric. And that's like the same situation. I think we're going to have like an Ingrid-centric kind of coupling and maybe a Lupe-centric one. I don't know. Like, that might happen soon.
The season...
We have had a couple of Lupe-centric episodes, although they were kind of not really Lupe-centric anyway. Either of
Yeah.
them.
Whenever it's like
It's funny to think
Lupe-centric-
about.
Whenever it's Lupe-centric, so far it seems that she's more of a, like...
catalyst for the action.
Yeah,
or
a
something.
catalyst for the action, like a thing to get the plot rolling. She's not necessarily like the character that's looked at all or focused on. But yeah, season 3, the season of growth, the season of character growth.
It's all
Whereas,
about the other characters, whereas Adam Lyons remains stagnant and stinky as ever.
The season of Mr. Mandrill could also
Yeah,
God,
I was gonna
God,
say,
is it?
let's talk about this episode, Mellow Fellows. All right. This has a lot of slips, but it also has a lot of her favorite guidance counselor, Mr. Mandrill, and there's something wrong with Mr. Mandrill.
Like, I wanted to get into that. I think they realized. It feels like there's been an evolution in like the focus on Mr. Mandrill. Like, I don't want to say it's like Flanderization, but more so like just they figured out like how funny therapy humor is. Like therapists like having jokes, having fun with like your therapist character, and they've just gotten the ball rolling on that. And now it's like an out of control boulder instead of like a little pebble. It's just like rollicking. Bam! We got a whole Mr. Mandrill episode.
I feel like they just know how to write for him more than like anybody else, or maybe they like to. He's just
That's fair. That's be a fair assumption.
Anyway, we start off with Jake reading a Vanity magazine with some like bikini-clad spider monkeys on the cover. Adam walks in and he's like instantly like giving him these questions like, is this glass half full or half empty? And I honestly thought that Adam would like immediately answer half empty. It's half empty.
Yeah, because that's the kind of killjoy Adam is.
He's the half-empty kind of life.
But no, he's just like, what? Zuh? He doesn't
he
say
didn't-
Zuh.
Yeah,
but-
he didn't have time to answer. Jake was just like, wrong. It's half empty, which I didn't. I guess he was answering for Adam. He knows that that's what would like make most sense for Adam.
And he's answering like he only asks Adam 2 questions before he establishes that Adam is a 2 on the sociality scale. He's like he's very irritable, prone to anger, and bouts of depression. Oh, worst case he's seen.
It's a total like. He's right. I mean, Adam just gets angry all the time, and then he gets like really sad, and that's basically what Adam is.
Have we
then
put
we
ourselves in his shoes before yet? Have we done that?
multiple times. We've given Adam a lot of sympathy, a lot of like, oh, I mean, it must really suck to be in an animal school. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, it
I'm
does
not gonna
suck.
deny it.
But he could be a little
But
bit
also-
happier. He is a cartoon.
He cannot be so miserable.
Well,
It's like
fun.
he's not real. He can smile a little.
Well, that's the fun in these episodes. Like, well, that's kind of the idea of this episode. But also, I've been finding that like Adam is a bit more jovial in these episodes. Like, just he's a bit more in the background, kind of.
I've noticed that overall Adam is being a little bit more jovial, and I enjoy that. Also, I just thought of something.
What's that?
Yeah.
Say you replace Adam with another human from a famous cartoon. I don't know, Steven Universe? What would Steven Universe be like in Charles
Oh
Darwin
my God.
School?
You would like.
Oh,
Okay,
hey,
first of all,
Jake!
there would be lots of singing. Like, just imagine a musical number every other second. And, like, at one point, like, there would be a really touching, like, surprisingly heartfelt conversation between Steven and Jake. Like, it just, like, Jake's voice will, like, crack, and he'll start, like those big Ghibli tears will start pouring down his face.
Garnet will come in and put her hands on both their backs, and she'll say something like, "You have to go through a lot of pain but eventually you'll find the truth, and then they'll just be like,
Wow.
fusion is all about trust.
Hey, Fusion, Jake. I'm like running down the street. Jake Spider Monkey, Steven Universe Fusion. Jake Spider Monkey, Steven Universe Fusion.
That happened. We did get an Adam Lion Spider Monkey fusion. I
want a Steven Universe Spider Monkey.
I see. Well, the thing is, I mean, he can fuse with humans. Can he fuse with, like, animals?
I guess so.
I don't know, can he?
Can he? What can Steven Universe do? How much power did you give him, Rebecca Sugar?
So in walks Slips, or should I say in Slither Slips, and he looks
Rough.
so sad. There's like this really high rendered like picture of him with these like realistic eyes,
Like
and he's
Squidward
just like
suicide.
yeah, it's kind of like that.
Red
he just
Mist
looks-
Slips.
He looks super dejected and depressed, and they're all like, "Oh, what happened?" And Windsor illuminates that like apparently Miss Warthog had set him to a task to like file a bunch of stuff for her, and doing this made Slips like feel purposeful, I guess.
It made him feel happy. Like, he liked the work.
The way it's framed is like Miss Warthog like gives him an award, and it's like you're one lucky student out of like 3,000 students in the school to be able to file all these papers. Good going, Spitz. She calls him Spitz as well. And Adam's like, oh, the poor guy, but Lupe's like, no, he loved it. It was the only time he felt purposeful. But now, like, now that that's over, he just feels so depressed and dejected. God, he looks so sad. But also, I like the idea that, you know, he enjoyed doing like these little menial tasks for Miss Warthog. I think there's like a little friendship there, like a little like teacher student like buddy kind of thing, where like Slips would enjoy like just getting some coffee or something and they talk.
Yeah.
I like the little bit where like he's like, yeah, dude, and she's like, did you just call me dude?
He's like,
No, it's like cool. I like it.
No, it's fine. I like it. You got spunk, Spitz.
So Jake tries to help Slips with one of his little personality quizzes, but Adam's like, no, he needs professional help. We need to go see Mr. Manjo, which I don't know if I would call Mr. Manjo professional.
I wouldn't call a guidance counselor professional help.
No, oh my god. I remember in middle school, my guidance counselor was probably one of the worst guidance counselors in the world. Like, I went to him, like, confidentially and, like, poured my heart out and, like, did this whole thing. And then, like, he called my mom about it, like, the next day. And I was like, why did you do that? Why did you do that?
They did the same thing to me. I, like, made a sad Facebook post of the guidance count, and like I deleted it like 2 seconds later, and I guess somebody confidentially like messaged them, and I was like fine when I was at school. They called me and the guidance counselor was just like, is there anything you want to talk about? And I was like, no. And I was like, my lips are really dry. Do you have any chapstick?
Hey, if you're listening to this, are your lips dry? Up. Don't lick them now.
Oh, you got 'em. You got 'em all in one go. How cruel.
So they go to see Mr. Manjo, who seems very unhelpful.
He's
As usual.
we go to him and he's like just like meditating slowly, and then Slips just like swoops in from the top and it's like, I was told you would come by the voices in the ceiling. And then we pan to the ceiling and there's like a cough.
I thought that was funny.
I like how like ridiculously tall his ceiling is for this tiny office. This is a very non-Euclidean room. I feel like it would be very strange to be in.
Well, he is a mandrill. He needs that climb space.
He
I'd
does
imagine.
need that climb in space.
Mr. Mandrill asks Slips if he's ever been to the circus, and then he just starts talking about how cool the circus is.
And then he mentioned something that I was thinking not just 2 days ago. How do they get the salt in the little peanuts that have the shells? How do they do that? They boil them, right?
I don't know.
We just don't know.
I don't know.
But it's very like Mr. Mandrill goes through like 10 different emotions in like a few seconds, and then he's just like, "Oh, our time's up." You know, that old classic therapy joke. But Slips is like, "No, man, I'm like super depressed.
I'm hurting, mate."
And he goes off like exactly diagnosing himself as to why he's depressed, and Mr. Mandrill is like, impressive.
Impressive.
You should be a guidance counselor like me.
Yeah, which like can't.
Can he do that?
He's just like, you can be my apprentice. And so in the next scene, you got like a Slips with sort of a Mr. Mandrill guidance counselor aesthetic, just sitting next to Mr. Mandrill.
The same shirt, same ponytail, which is a little adorable. That's funny.
It's a look, and
and like I really like how Mr. Mandrill, like in this episode specifically, is just does not show any like of his guidance counselor experience. He's just asking like people questions, like reaffirming his love of the circus. Like he's asking in this next scene, like, are you more of a comedy or action movie guy? And it's Principal Pixie Frog.
He's just like, well, my mother never let me see the movies. Said it went downhill after Empire Strikes Back. He says that. He says Empire Strikes Back.
Thank you, Principal Pixie Frog.
Man, didn't know he was a Star Wars fan. Or his mother, at least.
I like how it's Principal Pixie Frog here in the guidance counselor's office. Like, the idea of the principal of the school getting, like, therapy from the guidance counselor is, like, really funny.
I guess they are very close friends. Maybe it was less of a guidance counselor session and more of a, I need to open up to you, my best friend at this school. I need to tell you what's going on in my life.
But like Mr. Mandrill uses this as an excuse to like complain about the movie. Like, and like the movies are the worst though. Like those ticket prices, and like forgets about like Principal Pixie Frog's obvious issues with his mother.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe like, Mr. Mandrill wasn't trying to, like, counsel Principal Pixie Frog. Principal Pixie Frog was just started talking about, like, his old, like, just
trauma,
and they weren't talking about that, and Mr. Mandrill's like, oh, so the ticket prices, yeah, they suck. Like, he just wasn't ready for it.
It feels like he was trying to, like use Principal Pixie Frog as like an example though for like Slips, because Slips is like basically assistant teaching him right now.
That's true.
And where Mr. Mandrill has failed, Slips has not, because Slips just kind of like and like Slips is not his usual self. He's kind of like more more not laid back, what's the word, like lethargic.
Sad.
Maybe. Where he just like looks a lot like he's like slumped a bit, and he like kind of lifts his head, and he perfectly diagnoses Principal Pixie Frog with like some issues with his mother and stuff like that.
And his brother. He has a brother apparently.
Apparently. You think we'll
he's
ever
got
get to meet him?
sibling rivalry issues, and Principal Pixie Frog, we get like a close up face. His eyes are sparkling. He's like, you're absolutely right. I'm cured.
I'm cured. Thank you, doctor.
It's funny because Mr. Mandrill's like, what? No, don't be cured. Like that can't be right. He's just a kid. And Miss Warthog kind of appears out of nowhere, and she gives Slips like an actual certificate. It's like, you're now a certified guidance counselor, Spitz. Congrats.
he doesn't really react to it. He's just like, oh, I guess this is what I do now.
So that's our kind of like
That's
What's
the running idea through this episode, that Slips is a way better guidance counselor than Mr. Mandrill, because all Mr. Mandrill talks about is his love of the circus. You know, he loves the
Really?
dancing elephants. And, like, whenever he talks about those things, like, oh, the dancing elephants, and then he makes a monkey noise and does, like, a cute face, and, like, I forget what he talks about, like, he talks about the circus, and he makes this face that, like, I wrote down in my notes, where
He's,
his
like,
mouth is
whimsy.
agape. Yeah,
he's like
He shows his teeth and like he has eyelashes. It's just
he really
humor
loves
with-
the circus.
The humor with Mr. Mandrill throughout this episode is a little odd. It's the one thing I kind of didn't like too much, because sometimes it's like felt very weird and out of character for him, but other times was funny. But Slips is now set up office just like on a tree in the hallway, and like, you know, Bolsharkowski's there getting advice. Henry Armadillo's there, and Slips is like, "You just have a boring personality." Like,
It's just like, so
that's
what?
the only thing.
So what you're saying is that I was born this way and there's nothing that can change about me? Yep. I'm cured, doctor.
Yeah, everyone when they're cured, they're like, they put on a Tom Kenny voice, and they're like, "I'm cured. Thank you, Slips. You really helped me out here."
Yeah, so Adam notices that everyone in the school is significantly happier than usual. Even Jake, who is just like, yeah, you know, Slips has cured me, and now I don't say jokes about my butt anymore.
Butt cracks, if you will. Windsor's cured of his fear of the common house cat. Some like shred his face, but he doesn't even care.
He's just like,
Ingrid is. Go ahead.
She's cured of her. She's learned not to be shy around boys, and she kind of like grabs at him.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's great.
So
And Lupe is cured of her fear of French toast.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is.
it no, it
Random.
is that exactly. And the
is
syrup coming to get me.
I'm gonna bring it
Sure.
up at the end. There's a thing at the end. There's a joke at the end that I just hate. I hate it a lot. But Mr. Manchel kind of jumps out and he's like, "What? No, but I'm the guidance counselor." I don't forget what he talks about. He's just
Oh, I like what he says here, where he's like, instant gratification isn't the way to true therapy. The road is paved with, hold on. It's a slow, excruciating journey paved with metaphors, haikus, and facsimiles. and then like I like how it's Slips like from like the Principal Pixie Frog part on. He doesn't like actually say like anything to people. They just like Slip just appears and people are like, "So this thing is like wrong with me, is what you're saying?" And he's just like, "Yep, basically."
Like,
wow.
Like Adam's like, "So you're saying that I'm getting too caught up with my being angry and whining about being in an all animal school?" And he's just like, "Yeah." Cured.
I'm cured.
God, I want to be cured by Slips.
Me too.
I
I wish
want
Slips
him
was
to-
my therapist.
I wish he would just cure me of all that ails me.
Mr. Rangel's back in his office and he just seems very he's sad. He's you know, not everyone's guidance counselor anymore, but he starts getting some sagely advice from somebody.
Arrgh, Mr. Mandrill, you gotta
It's Patchy
you
the
gotta
pirate.
improve your image.
Yeah, it's the voice from the ceiling, as mentioned before. And like Mr. Rangel's like, "Oh, I gotta change my image. Let me," and he pulls out his ponytail and it like froze out. It's like a really good look.
No,
And-
put it back. Put it back.
No, it's bad. Also, yeah, the voice of the ceiling's a pirate.
For no reason. It's funny.
It's
like
funny. The pirate. We wanted a pirate in this episode. This is what
Did
it
we?
is.
I did.
Yeah, sure.
I put in the memo.
So did I put it on the desk of the people at My Gym Partners, a Monkey Co.
The episodes of SpongeBob where Patchy the pirate was in it were always made me happy. Why not here?
That's true. So the voice advises him to kind of like spruce up his office because it's too outdated. So he does, and he happily like tries to get the students. He's like, "Look, come to my office. It's new. It's improved. Like you're gonna really like it." And there's just these big signs like outside that are like, "Come on in. It's awesome."
It's like, come on in my office. We got a Nintendo 64. You can sit down and play. Uh, we got a TV. It's not.
You can't dox us by saying the name of like a local dentist. I'm gonna bleep that out.
God damn it. but
You would even reference a local commercial.
Yeah, it's probably not a good thing to keep in there, please.
No, I'm gonna bleep it out.
But the pirate voice is presenting all these things, like individual like parts, like a desk and a chair and a pinball machine.
The pit where you fight the devil or something.
Yeah, the mosh beast in like the pit, and then he says live entertainment and not so live entertainment, and it's a clown like in a dingy apartment, like. Like that. I like the clown's jokes. Good on you.
The thing about the fiery pit where the devil's in it, can we talk about the fact that there's just like a human family standing around it like it's a tourist attraction?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, he had to get the money somehow.
But like, why couldn't that have just been some animal students? Why are there people in the school?
It's really strange when they just draw humans in Charles Darwin Middle School. You get taken aback by it.
It's really cool though. It's because it's like, oh yeah, there's humans. You kind of start to think of Adam as like an animal after a while. You forget there's like humans in the world.
I think of humans in this show kind of in the same way that I think of humans in Invader Zim.
That's kind of how it is, isn't it?
Because they're just kind of like nothing stupid, like almost props. Like they're basically like not even like people. Like remember the fucking lawyers who were just like suit, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about
the
those.
Pirates, lawyers, and clowns. That was a weird one, but they do. It really feels like humans, like in this like world, are just props, background dressing, just mannequins.
Fitting to Adam's personal hell.
But like well, no, it's not Slips that says it. Dickie's like, so Slips, what you're saying is that this new office with all these new thingamabobbies are just here to distract us from our true problems? Yeah, pretty much.
Thanks, Slips.
I'm cured.
I'm cured.
I'm cured, doctor.
And Mr. Angel went through all that effort for not.
Mr.
sad.
Mandrill's so tired. He doesn't want to be here anymore because he keeps getting like shown up by this little boy.
So he goes to leave the school and he he's like leaving the school. He's got a backpack on. He's like gone, but he kind of passes by the pack there, and they're all staring at the camera with these like vacant smiles, and they're like, "Don't go, Mr. Manchel. We've realized that when our problems are solved, it just makes everything really boring. Like, give us our problems
because
back."
Our problems define who we are as characters. And also, Mr. Mandrill's just like, I just want to go, like, I want to go
He
back
wants
to
to
what
go
I
back
was
to
doing.
Kentucky.
He wants
to like
to. He lived in fucking Kentucky. And
to
he grew
farm mixed vegetables.
Yeah, to grow mixed vegetables. Like, that's such a funny, specific little detail that made me laugh a lot.
But you know, they managed to convince him, and he's like, all right, you know, I'll have like I'll try to convince him to like step off this game, but if he shows me up one more time, I'll freak out.
Like, I'm gonna lose it. I swear to God, I'm gonna lose it. And, well, what happens next?
I'm foggy.
So they go to Mr. Mandrill's office, and they're talking to Slips, and Mr. Mandrill's like, "See, you're just too young. You can't do this anymore." And Slips is like, "Oh, so like, you want me to like put aside my thing for you? Like, you want me to do that, man?"
Because I'm encroaching on your like territory here. It's like, no, it's just that's not what I'm saying.
And yeah. He freaks out. He
twitches, like, you know, the voice in his head. Adam's like coming by. He's not gonna show you up again. And then Jake shows up. And he's like, but he totally did. He takes off his like ponytail band. And he's like, I'm freaking out.
I'm freaking out, and he starts like just dancing with this like psychedelic imagery in the background, and then everyone's like, "Oh wow, who knew guidance counselor freakouts were so groovy?" And then they all start dancing. And then Miss Warhawk's there, and she's wearing like 70s gear.
I can't believe we finally got something that ended with a dance party.
Of all the episodes,
all
Slips
the episodes.
realizes that this just high intense life of guidance counseling is not for him, and he takes his ponytail out and he's like, "I'll see you later, dudes," because I guess he's just done, because he saw what it did to Mr. Mandrill and he didn't want that for himself. And then a French toast, a toast that's French, a anthropomorphic toast that's French,
So
shows
funny!
up. Shows up and is like, "Hey, you know, have you seen a chick named Lupe? It's real."
Of all the, that's fun. It's funny the joke that we end on is that one.
Why?
Why? I ponder it.
I mean, you know, it's something to end on. They definitely were struggling with something, so like, fine, you know, whatever. But I think overall it was a good episode. Like, it had a lot of stuff to it. It had like a lot of like fun little gags, some like, you know, just out there references that I thought were funny. Like, it just, I think it was solid. And even though like you said, it like it kind of like messed with like Mr. Mandrill's character a bit, like, you know, like just not giving like any like good advice at all. I think that worked for this episode a bit. You know, fudging with the character a little bit. Just it managed to work here. It made it funny, and hey, it was just funny. I really liked this episode. One of the faves. Tack it on the top there, top of the fridge.
I would say I liked it. I wouldn't know if I would call it my fave, but I did like it. All right, on to the next
episode.
Next time on My Gym Partners, the podcast.
We're
Wait,
going.
hold on.
Huh?
I'm not ready. I'm not ready
No.
to the episode yet.
What do you mean?
I don't want to go yet.
What you gotta talk about? What's happening to you, Lucy? what was happening? I thought we were gonna do the podcast.
Like, you just started going into it. I wasn't ready.
Oh, what do you want to talk about?
The show? Isn't that what we're here for? Come
I
on.
don't get paid for this.
Why doesn't anybody pay us for this?
Because it sucks.
What? It doesn't suck.
And now back to the show.
This next episode we're talking about is called Mongoosed, and I assume Gert and Renee, by your favorite whispers to each other, that you have some sort of past with this episode.
I can't remember if it was me or Renee who suggested it. I think it was me, right, Renee? Who was just like, "Oh, we should watch My Gym Partner's a Monkey," and it might have been. This was a long time ago. This was like a year and a half ago or something. And I was just like, yeah, let's watch the episode that's most Slip centric, because I think this was right after I did my Pikmin 2 stream.
Yeah,
and
the fervor over Slips was hot in our minds, like a buzzing like star, and you know, we wanted to like really like get into it and like see like is this show worth getting into. And then we watched this episode. Like, I think a couple other people were there with us, and it was kind of boring, to be honest, this episode.
I mean, it is kind of I said I liked it, like, the second time through, but as an episode that you just decide to watch randomly with a group of Discord friends, not really the most exciting out of the bunch. There were plenty more that we could have chose. Like, I can name like 5 that we could choose from at this point that would have been more interesting than this episode. Anyway,
not a lot happens in this one, but I enjoyed the like character interaction.
Yeah, it's very nice. I mean, finally a Slips episode where he's like talking and doing stuff, and like not just kind of like a set piece, as the pack typically is, except for Windsor.
There is that, and I do appreciate it. I'm glad that Slips is getting his like time in the sun on the hot rock, as it were. But I just feel like this episode was kind of it feels very padded. It seems there's like a lot of repeating lines to like extend the runtime and whatnot, but there's ideas here. There's ideas, and also more. Hey, all you folks out there who love your theories and like love like the complex politics of this made up fucked world, there's some of that in here.
Yeah, there sure is. So let's not waste any time.
There really sure is. In the beginning of this episode, you see, Slips, or I can't remember, Slips or his little friend.
It's
there's a
Slips.
Mongoose.
He's
Yeah, it Slips, and they're sort of going through the brush. He's going through the brush, like it's really tall grass, and he's stalking someone, a new face that we haven't seen before.
a little like
ugly creature.
a little ugly mongoose boy that, from the way that things appear, it appears that he's stalking him and wants to consume him. And that's
he's like biting at him. It's it's like, and this is, I think, an example of where it's padded out a lot, because this whole sequence is like a good chunk. I guess it's supposed to be like for the bait and switch, but we know Slips isn't gonna eat anyone. He's such a nice guy. He wraps himself around the mongoose eventually, and then he's like evilly grinning at him, and he's like, looks like he's gonna eat him, but then he just kind of like pokes the mongoose and is like, "Tag, you're it," and they both start laughing.
How long has it been since y'all have played tag? I've
really long time.
preschool.
I was thinking about this earlier, like right before we started recording. Like, what if I just asked like you, Lucy, next time that like we hang out? What if we just played tag together?
I would like there to be a third person. Actually, you know what, Gert?
Yeah?
Is Marco Polo kind of like tag? Because we played Marco Polo when we went to the beach, remember?
We did. Marco Polo is a little bit like tag, but I feel like the way we did it was more adult because we were in a very large, very scary body of water that like did not care what happens to us in it. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like tag, but I mean just these like tag, and then you run away, or
I
like
can't think of the last time I've been in like an open field where I could run around like a child.
God, or like hide and seek. Like hide and seek is impossible now because I'm so big. I can't hide anywhere. I used to be able to like stuff myself underneath like a fucking sink or get in the
You-
dryer.
Do you want to hear a hide and seek story?
Yeah, let's hear it.
One time I was like hide and seek at like a friend's birthday party, and there was like a lot of people, and I decided to hide myself. There was this like very small, like not door, but like like Coraline door. You know what I'm talking about? Like
yeah,
one
like
of those,
like a weird little like at your house,
except smaller.
except smaller. Yeah.
And it went into some like very cramped, like tiny little attic. But I was like, this is the perfect place. So I kind of like shoved myself back there, and I like sat there for a while, and like I felt like a prick on my leg, but I didn't think anything of it.
Oh, no.
Anyway, they couldn't find me for like a really long time, and I don't know if it was because nobody liked me or because my hiding spot was just so good. Anyway, eventually I can't remember if I opened the door or someone opened the door. I come out, and then I'm like, ow. And I, like the back like left of thigh like underneath was like hurting really badly, and I was like, oh, ow, ow, ow. So I like come out, and apparently I had sat in some glass, and there was a huge glass shard like in me.
Oh,
Holy shit!
And like I was like, oh no. So I had to like go to the bathroom, and the mom was like freaking out, and like she had to like pull it out. It was awful. It was an awful time. I was in like sixth grade.
God, I have a story somewhat, I mean, similar in the fact that I got very like a lot more injured than I should have been as a child. Like I got very injured. Me, my cousin, and my best friend at the time, we like went into the woods for some reason, and I thought that my cousin was keeping track of where we were going because he was just like, "All right, now y'all try and find the way back. Y'all lead me back." So we walked, but we got us lost. And
Oh
it's
my
just like, why the
God.
fuck did you trust us? Like, we told you we didn't know where to go, and we had to walk through, like, the woods lost and, like, fucking briars and brambles, and, like, there are ticks crawling all over us, and then when we finally got back, my, like, mom and, like, aunts were, like, horrified because our legs were just covered. We were in shorts. Our legs were just covered in fucking scratches. Like, they're just bleeding and oozing. And like,
I don't know. That's awful.
I don't have any stories like that because I don't know. I lead a boring life. But
I just was a very rowdy child.
I
I don't know how I like lived. I like spent a lot of time outside and like in places I wasn't supposed to be.
I got lost in the woods. It wasn't fun.
Anyway, let's talk about
Anyway, they're
much of Partners of Monkey.
they're fucking friends. That's the whole thing. Slips and this Mongoose are friends. They're playing tag, and like you see Adam and Jake, and there's like, he's got a new friend.
yeah,
Very
yeah.
annoying kind of friends too.
They're definitely like peak middle school like friends that are just like, you know, joking about everybody, doing like, you know, those like lowbrow middle school humor like jokes on other people. Like I like here Slips is like introducing Carl, I think. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
Carl. He
That's what
sounds
he
like that.
like.
He introduces Carl to Adam and Jake, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going? What's up?" And Carl and Slips just laugh at them for no reason.
It was like,
And then they're like, "Wow, did you hear what Jake said? Did you hear what Adam said? He said hi." Lol.
it's like,
Yeah, he said, "What's up?" Can you believe?
did y'all ever have a friend like this in like your early years, like elementary or
did.
middle school?
Yes, I did.
Where like there wasn't a fucking serious moment between you two. You would just always fucking like just say stupid nonsense constantly.
That
I
was
had to,
that was the friend that I bonded over YouTube poops with. And that is the only kind of friendship you can have in middle school when it's bonded over in that way.
My friend at the time in elementary school, his name was Luke. I remember,
Shout out to Luke.
shout out to Luke. I think he might go to my school, like my college.
Oh my god.
Which is funny, but, apparently, like, there was one time during recess where we were just, like, I don't know, pretending to be animals or something. I don't know what the fuck we were doing, but he, like, did this thing where, like, he put his arms in his shirt and, like, stuck them down into, like, his legs. So he was kind of like an ostrich creature of some kind. And like, I rode on top of him like it was, like a type of steed, and he was just, like, You remember that episode of Edna and Eddie where Ed turns into, like, a camel? And he's, like, walking up the hill. That's kind of, like, what it felt like. And I was just like, on top of my trusty creature.
That's the kind of friendship we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
basically it.
I'm remembering during this exchange that, like, Adam is sitting on, like, the front steps of the school, or I don't know, some steps in the school, and Jake is, like, perched on his head, like, he looks like he's been, like, looking for bugs, and Adam doesn't look bothered by this. It's like this has become a regular occurrence between them.
It's normal. Like,
They're bonding now. They just look very amicable and friendly with each other.
As a sociologist will say, Adam has, like, adjusted and had, like, socialization happened upon him. They probably wouldn't say it like that, but that's he's completely adjusted to the sort of, like, norms of this society.
But we're finally in a classroom, and we see her for the first time in, I feel like, years.
God,
Coach
Gill.
Gill.
How long has it been?
Oh my god. I was like, when I saw her, like, while watching the episode, I went, Coach Gill? Because it has been, like, it feels like a season has passed.
I mean, I think she was in the big field trip, right? Or no?
She was.
Yeah, she was. But I think that was the last time, because we've seen Horace, remember? He was with that one lady.
We've seen
the Slender Loris.
The Slender Loris.
God, that takes me back.
It wasn't even that long ago.
To, like,
Yeah, I
2
know.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
But
I just really liked that character. I thought she was funny.
that's true. So, Coach Gill's there. There's a dumb joke where, like, it's actually, I think it's funny, where Carl's like, "Hey, Coach Gill, dummy, say what?"
What? Excuse me.
Slips
Oh,
and
dude,
just
that was nice.
like, yeah, that was so choice, dude. like,
And she kind of just, like, doesn't regard that anyway.
Coach Gill is not fazed at all by this, and she's here. Mr. Mandrill's here to present a little something about, like, natural predators or something like that.
Couldn't even wait an episode to show up.
I know, he had to, like, it could have been anybody showing it. Why did it have to be Mr. Mandrill?
It could have been just Coach Gill showing it.
I know, and that's what they really like Mr. Mandrill. They can't help themselves.
He's just like indulgence. Like, they have to put him in there. It makes them so happy.
You see, no, never mind. I was gonna go into the Hulk. Go ahead.
Going
The
into
Hulk.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Go ahead.
So he, like, projects this little educational series, and in small print at the bottom it says something like, "Brought to you by Chemco."
Yep.
We did, just real quick, remember our theory, our, like, ancient theory about this all being a radiation thing, and, like, like, this is, maybe they got, like, in trouble for making the animals sapient, and they had to start, like, you know how, like, smoking companies, like, people do make cigarettes and stuff, have to make, like, PSAs and stuff like that. Like, this is maybe the same thing. Like, they made this problem, and they gave animals the ability to walk and talk, and now they have to educate them.
Funny enough, Chemco is actually a real chemical manufacturing company.
Huh.
There you go. Wait a minute.
Manufacturing company's mission is to Chemco Manufacturing Company's mission is to become the foremost global provider of filtration products to keep targeted industry markets segment.
Oh my god, it's gonna happen in real life!
Oh god, Chemco!
It's gonna be real.
Did you know that companies are destroying our planet and soon us along with it?
So he talks about the different natural enemies, like the bird and the worm and the dog and the cat, and there's this really scary picture of like I don't know how to describe it. Like it's like they're like real pictures, but like they're off.
They're like shooped animals. Like they're like those animals that you would see in like I don't know, like Cats versus Dogs.
Yeah.
And
Like,
they're kind of edited to be a little cartoony, but like they're Photoshop obviously, so it just looks a little weird. You got the shark and the armadillo, and then you cut to Henry Armadillo and Bull. There's like all these comparisons: the harpy eagle and the spider monkey, which are natural enemies, I guess. But good thing there isn't a harpy eagle in Charles Darwin. Cut to Principal Pixie Frog holding a sign that says, "Welcome, dangerous exchange students."
I wish we could confirm that if harpy eagles were like, actually like an enemy to spider monkeys. I wish we had somebody who like knew like some facts about animals.
Gert, look over there.
Who is that? Oh, Renee!
Animal Facts Corner with Renee!
Tell us, do harpy eagles try and eat spider monkeys? Is that real? Is that a real thing?
I don't know.
Don't make us have to do an animal facts corner with Gert. Those never go.
All right. Animal Facts Corner with Renee. Its main prey are tree-dwelling mammals, and a majority of the diet has been shown to focus on sloths and monkeys. So there you have it.
Damn.
Know what he say from the harpy eagle. But then they show Snake and Mongoosed, to which Carl and Slips are just like, oh no. But Mr. Manchel tries to give some kind of like, hey, this is just how things are in nature.
It's not good or bad. It's just, one of the weird eccentricities of like nature. It's just how it is. But it's
again.
there, it's odd like how these politics intersect the idea of like the natural order of animals and like sapient society when they're both meshed together, like having to like be like have the social norms with each other, but also you can like technically prey on those people you're having social norms with.
Legally kill them.
I mean,
Like-
it's fine.
That's the question, isn't it? Because like immediately after this film, they start like going to fight each other with like a flail and like a skewer or something, and Mr. Mandrill says, "Hey, what have I told you about acting out your natural instincts in the classroom setting?"
So, like, is it like when you're in school, there's kind of like this temporary, like, truce towards your nature? That, like, you can't act upon it,
Guess.
but once you get outside, you just fucking eat your, like, classmate?
I guess so. I
Why
don't.
Why is he even teaching this shit?
And you know what it could be. Here's theory time with me. It could just be that there are like precedents set in place where like maybe like wealthy like predator animals or like something that maybe just some like landmark court cases where like they ate another animal student, and it just there had to be a thing where it's just in their nature to do so. So like as long as it's outside of school boundaries or classroom boundaries even or something, because there was that like bullying protection program in like
That's right.
early on with the seal, if you remember that, with Bull Sharkowski's episode.
God. do remember that.
It's all coming together here.
Yeah.
Not well, but it's coming together.
So they just decide to glare silently at each other for the remainder of the class, and from now on, it's a Looney Tunes type spy versus spy, more like, where like they try and get at each other. So they're at the lunchroom, and did we mention the Harpy Eagle? I feel like we forgot.
Yeah, we forgot the Harpy Eagle. We forgot to mention that when Jake was just like, "Oh, it's a good thing none of them is around here." Um, a school bus shows up, and Principal Pixie Frog has a sign. He's just like, "Welcome to our new school, dangerous like eagle," and just a
But Renee
harpy.
mentioned that. I just couldn't remember if we mentioned that the Harpy Eagle gets off the bus. It is
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
school.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
harpy.
and he
Eagle
enters the school now, and he says, "Monkeys, monkeys, monkeys."
monkeys, monkeys.
There's when they're in the lunch. Sorry, this just tickled me. They're in the lunchroom. They're in the lunchroom, and Adam is just like eating his sandwich, and Jake like kind of like feels the presence of the Harpy Eagle, but like Adam is just like, for some reason in this episode, characteristically just kind of like not involved, which is weird because he's usually like too involved in everybody else's business.
Yeah,
He's just kind of like, oh no, don't worry about it, Jake.
it's not our fault. I guess he's just learned to like sort of chill out for a while.
I think it's funny, that juxtaposition with what happens in this episode, because, you know, try as he might not to be involved, and he really feels like he's like uninvolved, like, you know, just trying to be in the background, but the plot manages to bring him front and center to like torture him, because, you know, like you said, Lucy, Slips and Carl are engaged in a spy versus spy war of prankage, where every time Adam somehow gets in the middle of it. Like, Carl gives like a lunch bag meant for Slips, but then like Adam checks it for whatever reason, and like he gets skunked sprayed again.
Gross.
Yeah,
At least this
unfortunate for him.
At least this time it's a mist and not a spray.
God,
Liquid.
wait, that could have awful implications. The fact that it's different. It could.
I don't want there to be off the implications, but this like skunk is like, yeah, you just got sprayed by a skunkogram or something, and he like tips his hat and like runs off. But it's funny because like Henry Armadillo was the one who brought the lunch package up or whatever, and he was wearing like the same outfit as the skunk, which is this little like bellhopper-esque little uniform, and it's just like, is this what Henry's been up to? Is Henry friends with this skunk guy? I don't care.
That's a subplot waiting to be written about, you know.
Carl goes to open his locker, and Slips is like waiting to the side, and he's like, oh, he's gonna do it, but then Adam just happens to be like, he's like hanging off Jake's tail, and they're like swinging by, and Jake's like, wow, isn't this much easier than walking? But he fucking like slams into Carl, and a bunch of like coconuts and stuff come out of Carl's locker and land on Adam, and Slips is like, whoopsie, sorry, Adam.
And Jake, meanwhile, is still swinging. He's just like, "Where do you want me to drop you off, Adam?" And he's just like, "Adam?" And he's alone. He's alone. He's alone swinging through the halls. And then the Harpy Eagle starts like flying behind him, and he's like, "Ah!" Oh no!
Like genuinely terrified of this guy.
He's afraid he's gonna get eaten.
Because I guess he can in this school. Better watch out. We cut to Slips getting some swamp water from the swamp water vending machine. Brown flavor.
Ooh,
Yeah, I was gonna say
brown
this thing like, what do
flavor.
I want? Brown.
I
It's a
wish.
good one.
I wish we had snacks that were just like color coded like that. Like, ooh, I'm eating green today.
But then, like, you know, Adam gets like the barrage of like the soda cans instead of Slips, and he's had it. And Jake suggests, he tells about how he has rope and duct tape in his locker, for crafting.
Why did you say it like that?
You know, for crafting.
So they're like in the library, and they got Slips has this like book that's like, I don't know, like hunting mongoose for like idiots, and a mongoose has hunting, or like, what is it, something for snakes, dummies.
Snake hunting for idiots, for nitwits, actually.
Yeah, and Adam and Jake. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, they get got by Adam and Jake in like descending from the ceiling, and they're bound and gagged in like a random classroom, and but surprisingly they're not getting roughed up too much here. Adam's just talking about how he's had it with being in the middle of their tussles, and they're being so childish, and they should just make up because they were friends before like they even knew about this like natural like instinct thing.
You're being so childish. I hate this.
I can't help but feel like this is a really forced metaphor for something. I don't know.
That's ridiculous, Renee. I see nothing of the sort here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep, nothing at all. Nope. Can't. Oh, just another day in the at the school. The monkey school.
Just another day.
Principal Pixie Frog is there, and he's like, "Don't even bother, Adam. You're wasting your time. We don't support LGBT." Just kidding. No, Principal Pixie Frog's
How many
gay.
times have I told you you can't have a student organization for LGBT people? It feels too much like you're leaving people out.
me, because I should be the leader of an LGBT club.
Anyway, he's like, the mongoose guy his parents are gonna transfer him to an all mongoose school because that proves that how rich he is. I didn't even know these existed. Are there that many mongoose to justify having a whole school?
There's too many. They're so intelligent. There's so many of them.
Maybe like just mongooses especially are like higher in society and like have like more leeway to like have more schools built for them, I guess. More private like exclusive all mongoose schools, I guess. I mean, we got a bit of a look into like the uniformity episode where there were like other like gifted like animals schools for like, specifically like African herbivores or like just birds, avians, or like whatever, but not for specifically just mongooses. But it works for the joke, so whatever. For the plot, whatever.
When they get
Whatever, who
untied by
cares?
Adam and Jake, they kind of like revert back to their dumb, childish humor, and then they embrace crime because they're actually going to miss each other. And Carl gets up and he walks out the door, and they're all teary-eyed, and he waves and he walks away.
Why would you leave before I sink my teeth in your cranium, dude?
It's so sad. It's so tearful.
It's so sad.
Slips is a python. He's more of a constrictor than a venomous snake.
Oh my god, Windsor, get out of here!
I'm just pointing
Whatever,
out.
dude. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I have fangs that I do. Fuck you.
Jake is crying too, and Adam's like, "Whoa, I didn't think this was gonna get to you, man." But Jake is actually just crying because the Harpy Eagle is coming to kill him.
The Harpy Eagle is here.
The Harpy Eagle just kind of glares at him, and then he tags him, and is like, "Ha, you're it!" And runs out, and Jake's like, "Oh, that guy seems kind of fun. I'm gonna come get you." And he runs after him, and it's like, "Oh, what do you know? It's all over again."
But Adam's like feeling kind of left. Well, he says at the end, like, I guess hold on. What is he saying?
I don't have any natural predators, so I'm okay. Like, And then James' aunt walks up to him and just kicks him, like for no reason.
And he looks so sad.
I didn't know the aunt was fucking.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
yeah, remember Ant Bully?
yeah, I was gonna go into like a more like earnest like answer for that, where like the ants are like pretty invasive animals, and if there's like any animal like that's gonna do it, like ants are like pretty devastating. Like they can like take down animals like 20 times their size or something. They're like they're like great like team workers. They have like venom and stuff. They can do a lot to even us. But of course we gotta get into another stupid movie that nobody thinks about these days. Ant Bully. Who talks about that these days?
Nobody should or want to talk about Ant Bully. I certainly don't want to.
Why are you yelling at me?
Overall, Mongoosed is kind of like nothing happens, and it's not like butt-gustingly
Nut-bustingly funny.
It's not nut-bustingly funny, but it's kind of charming. I like the slips moments, but it doesn't skip it.
It doesn't carry it for me. This is definitely like it's a boring episode. It almost turned me away from like doing a podcast about my gym partner's a monkey. I'll be honest.
That's really funny.
That is really funny.
Let's talk now about our faithful fans and their wonderful artwork, because we have two very great pieces of artwork to talk about.
I want to preface it by saying you can send us some artwork, some fan art on our Twitter. It's a nice place to like, or you can just send like some stuff our way, some like funny like stuff. Maybe not some like egregious looking stuff.
Listen, we've shown Adam lying on a cross on this show multiple times. Anything worse than that, though, it's probably not going to get on.
Yeah.
But you can send it. It doesn't even have to be stuff like you've drawn. It could be just like a funny like meme you make or a video you make. As long as it's something you made, then that's fine. It doesn't have to be a drawing. But we have some things to talk about.
We appreciate it all. Yes.
Everything is welcome.
Our first piece of artwork is from our dear friend Fee at Peanut Butter, but it's spelled PENUTBUTR. And Fee has drawn. I almost said P has drawn.
Oh no!
Fee has drawn a picture of Adam Lion after not surviving because it is Adam Lion wearing Sans clothes and his skin is white and he's got those dark cavernous eye sockets with the little white lights. It's just so very funny.
You see, Adam did get in Smash. Remember when we talked about this? Like, I don't even remember like what we said, especially about Adam Lion being in Smash or anything. But now he is as Sans.
He's also in there as Ness too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, Lucas is like ginger-haired alt is actually a reference to Adam Lion from My Gym Partner's a Monkey.
Yeah, that's who it is. Nobody else.
Nobody else.
But thank you for this like Adam Lion Sans, because it feels like a perfect like mixture, like somehow for some reason it feels right. Like I've seen it in a nightmare somewhere. I really love it. It's well drawn. Thank you, Fee.
Thank you, Fee.
Thank you, Fee.
Next one.
On a darker note.
This creation is from another they were our friend, but I don't know now after seeing this.
No,
that's not true.
It's by our good friend Felix on Twitter at Fleelix with 2 X's. And now, like, I forewarn you, like, even though, like, this kind of imagery was seen in an episode, it's still charged.
I think my favorite thing about this is Adam. I think he looks so sinister, so like the energy behind it it's great. Like I think it's just like masterfully done.
This whole image, like, I'm just looking at it closer now. Principal Pixie Frog has like a little anchor tattoo, and also just the I was gonna comment on the expression of Principal Pixie Frog. It isn't an emotion that I cannot quite like calculate what it
Slack-jawed
means.
and like drifty.
It's like I don't know. It's like he's drugged. It's like he's like in a state right now, and like it's really scary.
I feel like I desperately have to mention that this is based off of like a screenshot in the episode Sidekicked where Principal Pixie Frog filled gelatin in his underwear. It's gelatin.
It's gelatin.
Contrary to what it looks like, he did not shit big in his pants.
Well, okay, I didn't want to actually.
We can't just keep tiptoeing around it. Like, we just gotta say it.
It's not poo-poo, it's jello.
It's not poo-poo, it's jello.
It's very sinister. It's gonna haunt me.
it.
A couple of sinister drawings here. It's really speaks to the real horror behind the show, and I'm all for that. Thank you again, Felix.
Thank you.
Let's move on to comments. How about that?
Yes, let's do that. We have 2 good comments to talk about today. Remember, you can always comment on our videos, and we will probably talk about them. We don't get a lot of comments, to be honest. We get a good amount, and we just can't be sitting here reading comments all day. So if we don't get to yours, apologies. We do read all of them and love them, but we just can't get to all of them.
Mm-hmm. So this first one here by Cool Dude the Coolest, they write, Hall Monitor Sasquatch is an important member in society and an unstoppable force of nature. Thank you, Cool Dude the Coolest. I can see why you're named that, because you know what's right in this world. Thank you. Please, I'm still pledging for people to not forget Hall Monitor Sasquatch. He is a credit to the team, and like honestly, he's a great character, and I just want to see him. I just want to see his legacy live on, even past my own.
He's in the school. He's there. When are you going to give him to us again?
Please give it to us again. Thank you for the comment, Cool Dude the Coolest.
Thank you. Next
Xenon.
comment. I want to read Xenon. I want to read Xenon's comment.
Okay, alright. Calm down.
Alright, jeez, I'll step back.
Okay. I think the monkey's paw from The Monkey's Paw must have been Jake Spider Monkey's hand, given this new information about Wishing Finger. I think Adam should be the one to get brought back from the dead as a horrific monstrosity and then swiftly killed once more. God, I really love this because whenever I think about, like, we had a book in, like, elementary school where we read The Monkey's Paw, which is, like, kind of strange story to read when you're, like, in the 5th grade or 4th grade or whatever.
I was gonna say.
A little bit.
Like, it's a little scary, but whenever I think about it, there's like a picture of like the crinkled hand, like the crinkled monkey's hand, and I always think, I feel like I always associated it with like my gym partner's a monkey with Jake's crinkled hands. I don't know. The connection's always been there in my head, but I never quite thought about it.
Huh. Maybe there's a deeper meaning to that. And hey,
yeah.
Are we done? Do we have anything? I can't remember what we were just talking about.
Just kind of blanked out. Hey, next week Next week.
Oh yeah. Next week. All right. Yeah.
Next week we'll be watching the episode. I mean, not next week. Shit, that's right. We made a Twitter post about it. But in case you don't check our Tweety post. We are now officially going to be uploading every other week, just because we're really busy with school and like work and stuff. It's just like we're finding it harder and harder to find like time to like produce this. And even though it doesn't seem like it takes that much time to do, like it's over an hour to record. We got to watch the episodes, then we have to like edit it and like transfer it around, and if something goes wrong, it's work.
It's hard enough just trying to find like a time where the three of us are free to like for that amount of time to just like do everything. But thank you.
We still like to do it, and
yes, I love doing this.
And we're hoping that like this new schedule can like be a happy medium, and we can like give the people what they want: more monkey show, more wild theories, more exposure of Jake Spider Monkey's image into our minds and our hearts.
2 weeks from now we'll be discussing the episodes Hornbill and Ted's Bogus Adventure and Save the Drama for Your Llama. 2 titles which undoubtedly will produce incredibly thought-provoking episodes, I think. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for listening, everybody. Tell your mom about us. Tell your dog about us. Tell your neighbor. Go up to that person in your class who like you kind of want to be friends with because you think they'd be chill to hang out with, but you're like kind of nervous. You don't.
Gert, I'm gonna attack you. My predator instincts just kicked in.
No, God, it's a bloodshed. It's bloodshed.
Gurgle, gurgle, alligator noises. Gurgle, I'm gonna get you. I'm Renee.
I'm Gert, and I'm so scared.
And I'm Lucy. Thank you for listening. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.